Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, that is chapter number 3, Deep Water. Chapter number 3, Deep Water, written by William Douglas. Right? Chapter નું નામ સાંભળીને જ ખબર પડી જાય that chapter is related about water. પાણીના related એક chapter છે. The water is very deep. Right? So you will have an idea what the chapter is all about. The writer of this chapter is William Douglas. Right? Before we begin, I'll tell you a small summary of this chapter. નાનકડી એવી summary કહી દઉં એટલે તમને આખો chapter નો overview ખબર પડે. જ્યારે આપણે chapter start કરીએ તો તમને વધારે interesting લાગે. Right? So let's begin. Summary of this chapter. Deep water summary is about writer itself. Writer પોતાની જ વાત કરે છે. Right? The writer talks about himself. Of overcoming out of the fear of deep water, which was deeply rooted in him since childhood. Right? Since childhood, the writer had a fear of deep water. Right? એક water phobia કહેવાય. Right? કેટલાકને heights phobia હોય. height માંથી નીચે જુઓ તો ચક્કર આવી જાય. કેટલાક લોકોને વોટર ફોબિયા હોય. સ્વિમિંગ પુલ હોય, નાનકડો સ્વિમિંગ પુલ, એમાં પણ અંદર પડી જાય અથવા સ્વિમિંગ કરવા જાય તો એક બીક ઘૂસી જાય. રાઈટ? સો એ બીક જલ્દી બહાર નથી નીકળતી. સો દેટ ઇઝ નોન એઝ અ ફોબિયા. ફોબિયા મીન્સ વેનેવર યુ સી દેટ થિંગ, રાઈટ, એ વસ્તુ તમે જુઓ એટલે તમને બીક લાગવા માંડે. રાઈટ? એ વસ્તુ તમને અસર પણ નથી કરતી, અથવા તમે સ્વિમિંગ પુલમાં પણ નથી ગયા, તમે કહેવાય ને હાઇટ ઉપરથી પડી પણ નથી ગયા, બટ યુ સ્ટીલ હેવ એ ફોબિયા. રાઈટ? 10મી 12મા માળે બિલ્ડિંગે જોડો ને પછી નીચે જુઓ એટલે ઓટોમેટિક બીક લાગવા માંડે. રાઈટ? કંઈ પડ્યા નથી છતાંય બીક. સો દેટ ઇઝ એ ફોબિયા, એ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ એ ફિયર. રાઈટ? સો આવી જ રીતે આ પર્ટિક્યુલર રાઇટર, દેટ ઇઝ વિલિયમ ડોગ્યુલસ, એને ફિયર હતો. ફિયર ઓફ ધ ડીપ વોટર. ફિયર ઓફ ધ ડીપ વોટર. રાઈટ? જેવું પાણી જોવે ને એટલે બીક લાગી જાય. હી ગેટ્સ સ્કેર્ડ when he sees deep water. Deeply rooted in him since childhood. બચપનથી એવું હતું. Since childhood, right? After that, when the author is 11 years old, he experiences another incident which escalates his fear. He is in swimming pool in Yakima, training to learn swimming. Right? 11 વર્ષે એવો incident થાય છે એની લાઈફમાં which is even more dangerous. Right? I'll tell you what the incident is. Incident is એને કોઈ સ્વિમિંગ પુલમાં ધક્કો મારી દે. That is what the incident is. If you don't know swimming and swimming pool 7 થી 8 ફીટ હોય, રાઈટ, તમારી હાઇટ 5-6 અથવા 5.5 ફીટ હોય અને તમે 7 થી 8 ફૂટના સ્વિમિંગ પુલમાં પડી જાઓ, તમને તરતા ન આવડે, so obviously the water is going to get inside your body. So it will be very difficult for you to breathe. Right? એવો જ એક ઇન્સિડન્ટ ઓથર જોડે પણ થાય છે. તો એ જે વોટરનો જે ફોબિયા છે, દેટ ઇઝ ધ ફિયર ઓફ ડીપ વોટર, એ વધી જાય છે. And how he overcomes out of this fear, કેવી રીતે એ બહાર આવે છે આ fear. Right? That is what the main thing that we have to learn in this chapter. Right? Fear આપણા બધાની લાઈફમાં હોય. Right? હરેકને કોઈકને કોઈ વ્યક્તિથી, કોઈ વસ્તુથી, કોઈ જગ્યાએથી, કોઈકને હાઇટથી, કોઈકને વોટરથી, કોઈકને બીજી ઘણી બધી ઇન્સિડન્ટ્સ, ઘણા બધા વસ્તુ એવી છે જે લોકોને કંઈક ને કંઈક બીક લાગતી હોય. કોઈકને બ્લડ જોવે તો ચક્કર આવી જાય. All these things. So we have the fear of certain things in our life. How to come out of that fear? If you want to learn, you can learn from this chapter. How the writer comes out of the fear of deep water. Right? તમે 12th સ્ટાન્ડર્ડમાં જો તમારે સબ્જેક્ટ્સ હશે ઘણા, રાઈટ? એકાઉન્ટ, સ્ટેટ્સ, ઇકોનોમિક્સ. રાઈટ? પહેલી વારમાં એકાઉન્ટ સ્ટેટ્સમાં તો સોલ્યુશન આવે જ નહીં. રાઈટ? ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક કોઈ એરર રહી ગયું, કોઈ ફોર્મ્યુલા મિસપ્લેસ થઈ ગયો, રાઈટ? એ ટોટલ સરખો ના બેસે, ઓલ ધેટ થિંગ્સ. સો યુ હેવ એ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ એ ફિયર ઇન યોર માઇન્ડ દેટ ઇવન ઇફ યુ ડુ એવરીથિંગ દેટ ઇઝ એઝ પર ધી ફોર્મ્યુલા, ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક કંઈક રહી જાય છે. તો એક ફિયર છે. સો હાઉ ટુ કમ આઉટ ઓફ દેટ ફિયર? કોઈકને થિયરેટિકલ સબ્જેક્ટ્સ અઘરા લાગતા હોય, રાઈટ? ઓસી ને પીએ, સર બધું એક સરખું જ છે. લર્ન શું કરવું, કેવી રીતે કરવું, સર બધું એક સરખું જ લાગે. SPCC and all that things, right? So that is actually your fear. Subjects are the same, chapters are the same. એ બદલાતા નથી, એ ક્યાંય જાતા નથી. But આપણી મેન્ટાલિટી એવી છે એટલે આપણને અઘરું લાગે. The things that we try to not adjust it to our situation or to our mind, that is where we have the problem. That is why we have the problem. એટલે બધી પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ થાય અને પછી એક ફિયર બેસી જાય. Right? This is what the things that we are facing currently in standard 12. Right? When I was a student, I was feeling the same thing. Theoretical subjects થોડા easy લાગતા હતા, but practical subjects મને પોતાને ઘણીવાર એમ થતું હતું આ સાચું તો હશે. Right? Because we have the fear, lack of practice. તો એ વસ્તુની તમે પાછળ પડી જાઓ અને વધારે ને વધારે પ્રેક્ટિસ કરો, વધારે હાર્ડ વર્ક કરો એ સબ્જેક્ટ્સમાં, so obviously that fear is going to be removed. In this chapter also it is the same story, right? Out of the box example એટલે કહું છું because you are a student, so you will understand well what fear is, right? કારણ કે આપણે બધા અત્યારે so called technically marks oriented છે. We want the marks, we want good percentile, we want good percentage because next year we want to go in some good college, right? This is a stepping stone right now. 12 is an important factor for your next life. જેવા marks એવી college, right? એટલે એ પ્રમાણે આપણે માર્ક્સ માટે મહેનત કરીએ છીએ, પર્સન્ટેજ ઓર પર્સન્ટાઇલ માટે મહેનત કરીએ છીએ, બટ કેટલીક વાર આપણી લાઈફમાં એવા ફિયર્સ આવે છે વિચ પુલ્સ અસ બેક. આવડતું હોય ને એ પણ ભૂલી જાય, રાઈટ? ઘણી વાર આવી બધી સિચ્યુએશન. બટ વી નીડ ટુ વર્ક હાર્ડ, વી નીડ ટુ પ્રેક્ટિસ ટ્વાઇસ. 2 વાર નથી આવડતું તો ત્રીજી વાર નથી આવડતું તો ચોથી વાર, 5મી વાર તો આવડી જ જશે. આપણે શું કરીએ? એક જ વાર કરીએ, રાઈટ? વી ઓનલી પ્રેક્ટિસ વન્સ, right? Once we do it, જે થાય જેટલા માર્ક્સ આવે, and then you lose your marks, and that particular thing which is half, which is even more dangerous, right? આવડે છે છતાંય પૂરા માર્ક્સ નથી આવડતું, so that is even worse. And that is where the fear is being born. So how to come out of this fear? You will look into this chapter, you will see how the writer comes out of this fear. Right? So that might be a motivational story for you also. તમને પણ એક આઈડિયા આવશે કે કઈ રીતે સબ્જેક્ટ્સને ઓવરકમ કરવા, કઈ રીતે ફિયર ફેક્ટરને ભગાડવો. કારણ કે તમે જેટલું ભાગશો એટલા સબ્જેક્ટ્સ તમારી પાછળ ભાગશે. એ ક્યાંય જવાના તો છે જ. એટ ધી એન્ડ ઓફ ધ યર યુ હેવ ટુ ગીવ ધી એક્ઝામ. રાઈટ? ફિયર નથી કહેતો, બટ ધ પ્રેક્ટિકલ થિંગ દેટ આઈ એમ ટેલિંગ યુ, બીકોઝ ઇટ વુડ બી હેલ્પફુલ ટુ યુ એટ ધી એન્ડ ઓફ ધી એક્ઝામ. So do not run from your fear, do not run from the subjects that you don't like. Face them, work hard, and obviously they will run right in front of you, and then you will run behind the subjects. હવે તો ક્યાં ગયા? મને આવડી જ ગયું, right? Now I know this chapter, now I know this formula, now I know the methods, now I know the theoretical concepts and everything, right? So it is just like it. So let's look into this chapter, how to overcome the fear, right? કોન્સેપ્ટ તો ખબર પડી જ ગઈ, સમરી ખબર પડી ગઈ શું છે, કેવી રીતે ઓવરકમ કરે છે એના ફિયર્સ, હાઉ હી રિમૂવ્સ ધ ફિયર ઓફ ડીપ વોટર. દેટ ઇઝ વોટ વી આર ગોઈંગ ટુ લર્ન ઇન ધીસ ચેપ્ટર. પેજ નંબર 23. Deep water. William O'Douglas, 1898 to 1980, was born in Maine, Minnesota, after graduating with a Bachelor's of Art in English and Economics. He spent 2 years teaching high school in Yakima. 2 વર્ષ ટીચર તરીકેની જોબ કરી in Yakima. However, he got tired of this and decided to pursue a legal career. Right? Legal career માં આગળ જવાનું એટલે પ્લાન કર્યો. He met Franklin Roosevelt at Yale and became an advisor and friend to the president. Douglas was a leading advocate of the individual rights. He retired in 1975 with a term lasting of 36 years and remains the longest serving justice in the history of the court. Right? Legal career. What is a legal career? Legal career is an advocate. Right? Almost 36 years to the longest serving justice in the history of the court. Right? મોટામાં મોટી સર્વિસ એ એજની અંદર, રાઈટ, એ સમયની અંદર was being given by William O'Douglas. Right? 2 વર્ષ teaching, and then the remaining of his life he decided to spend as a legal officer, right? The following extract is taken from A Man in Mountains by William O'Douglas. It reveals how a young boy, William O'Douglas, nearly drowned in a swimming pool, right? Swimming pool was nearly drowned, that means he was dead, almost dead, right? In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcame it. Now, notice how the autobiographical part of the selection is used to support this discussion of fear. Right? એ જ વસ્તુ એ પણ કહેવા માંગે છે. The writer itself tries to say in this chapter how to overcome your fears. Right? કઈ વસ્તુની બીક લાગે છે એને ઓવરકમ કેવી રીતે કરવો, એને ઓવરટેક કેવી રીતે કરવો. how to remove that concept in your mind that you have a fear of this thing. That is what he is describing as a part of an example, that is deep water. That is deep water. It had happened when I was 10 or 11 years old. I had decided to learn to swim. Right? Thus I also decided to do that. I had decided to learn to swim. There was a pool at the YMCA in Yakima that offered exactly the opportunity. The Yakima river was precious, right? Yakima is a place that is a river, right? Mother continuously warned against it and kept fresh in my mind the details of each drowning in the river, right? And our mother relatively or people won't go into that river. एक बार मानसो ये नदी में नहावा जाए छे, right? They never come back again. They never come back again, right? Her mother continuously warned her. But the YMCA pool was safe, right? There was one place, right? YMCA, that is Youth Meeting Christian Association, right? Ahmedabad માં છે YMCA, તો તમે કદાચ નામ સાંભળ્યું, right? એવું જ આ જગ્યાએ પણ YMCA હતું. એ જગ્યાએ એક સ્વિમિંગ પૂલ હતું. And that was the best place for him to learn the swimming. It was only 2 to 3 feet deep at the shallow end, right? And while it was 9 feet deep at the other, the drop was gradual. I got a pair of water wings and went to the pool. I hated to walk naked into it and show my skinny legs, but I subdued my pride and I did it. Initial level, 2 to 3 feet up. જેમ જેમ અંદર ડીપ જતો જાય સ્વિમિંગ પૂલમાં, so at the other end it was 9 feet. It was 9 feet, right, on the other side of the swimming pool. And the legs માં પગમાં પેલા ઓલું કહેવાય ને, what the word is perfectly, that is a pair of water wings, જે ઓલા મોટા wings આવે ને, મોટા shoes. So generally a initial level swimmer, right, એ લોકોને એ ટાઈપનું ડ્રેસિંગ સેન્સ પહેરાવે, so that they don't get deep into the water or they can survive on top of the water, right? See, the next page, image is also given, the Yakima river, right, જ્યાં એ સ્વિમિંગ કરવાનો પ્લાન કરતો હતો. So નીચે જો ની ડિટેલ્સ આપે છે where it is. The Yakima river is a tributary of Columbia River in eastern Washington, USA, that is in US, right? The state is named after the indigenous Yakima people, right? It is in Washington DC, that is in United States of America, right? So her mother warned her that he should not go to the swimming in Yakima river, so he decided to go in the YMCA pool, right? Initial level in 3 feet or 2, and on the other end it was 9 feet. It was 9 feet. From the beginning, however, I had an aversion to the water when I was in it. This started when I was 3 or 4 years old and father took me to the beach in California. He and I stood together in the surf. I hung on him, yet the waves knocked me down and swept over me. I was buried in water. My breath was gone. I was frightened. Father laughed. There was a terror in my heart at the overpowering force of the waves. Right? 11 વર્ષે ફિયર નથી બેઠો. સ્વિમિંગ પૂલમાં પહેલી વાર પડ્યો ને બીક લાગી ગઈ એવું નથી. He went to the sea with his father, right? And he was, on the back of his father at the California beach, and in a particular surf ઉપર ઊભા હતા, and that surf, when the water wave, hit that surf, he fell from his father. And જે એના પપ્પાને પકડીને ઊભો હતો, he fell from that place. And he fell directly into the sea, corner one, right? દરિયાનો કિનારો, એમાં એ પડ્યો. At the age of 3 to 4 years, so you can imagine the height and the physical structure. 3-4 વર્ષના child ની height and physical structure કેવું, right? So he fell into the water, and the water overcame him. And the water overcame him, right? So this was it. At a point of time and age, in a point of time it is in a fear factor basically, right? Imagine you are 3-4 years old and તમે તમારા parents જોડે બીચ ઉપર જાઓ છો, right? And you are standing on the corner of the sea and suddenly the water waves hits you and તમે પાણીમાં ડૂબો છો, પાણી તમારી ઉપર ચડી જાય. So obviously you will have a fear factor, right? So this was it. ત્યાંથી a fear factor start થઈ ગયું at the age of 3 to 4 years. I was buried in water, my breath was gone and I was frightened. father laughed, but there was a terror in my heart at the overpowering force of the waves. My introduction to the YMCA swimming pool revived unpleasant memories and stirred childish fear. Right? We were a YMCA pool and when we saw the water, in a day memory, a memory that was on the seashore when he was 3 to 4 years and he fell from his father's hand and the water overcame him. એ વસ્તુ એને યાદ આવી ગઈ. 11 વર્ષે પણ એને એ જૂની વસ્તુ which was 7-8 years old એ વસ્તુ એને પાછી યાદ આવી ગઈ. રાઈટ? ફિયર ફેક્ટર આવો એકવાર તમે વસ્તુ જો એટલે ક્યારેય પણ એ મગજમાંથી જતું નથી. That is what fear factor is. YMCA swimming pool revealed unpleasant memory and serious childish fears, but in a little while I gathered confidence. I paddled with my new water wings, watching the other boys and trying to learn by applying them. I did this 2 or 3 times on different days and was just beginning to feel at ease in the water when this adventure happened. Right? Day દિવસ 3 દિવસ 4 દિવસ સતત એને પ્રેક્ટિસ કરી water wings હતા એના પગ ઉપર નીચે કરતો હતો. He was trying to balance, he was getting the confidence, he was coming out of the fear of the water. Right? બધું વ્યવસ્થિત જતું. And suddenly the incident happened. કયું ઇન્સિડન્ટ? એ સ્વિમિંગ પુલમાં પડી ગયો. કોણે પાડ્યો? જાતે પડી ગયો? કોઈ ધક્કો માર્યો? Let's look into the text. I went to the pool when no one else was there. એક દિવસ એવા સમય પૂલે ગયો, that is to the swimming pool when no one was there. The place was quiet. The water was still. કોઈ પાણી સ્વિમિંગ પુલમાં ના હોય એટલે water પણ એકદમ still, steady. And the tiled bottom was white and clean as a bathtub. Right? Check bottom dekhaતું. It looked clean water. Right? I was timid about going in alone, so I sat on the side of the pool to wait for others. Williams he was sitting on the corner of the swimming pool. He was looking down, which was 9 feet deep. In 9 feet na, the other end of the swimming pool, with his legs inside the water, and he was looking inside the water. Right? And he was waiting for the other particular practicing people who were coming to learn swimming. He was waiting for the other people. Right? You know, regular practice mat avta tha. William O'Douglas was waiting for them. I had not been there long when I came in a big bruiser of boy, probably 18 years old. He had thick hair on his chest. He was a beautiful physical specimen with legs and arms that showed ripping muscles. He yelled, "Hi skinny, how do you like to be dubbed?" Right? Suddenly with a very great height and great body, physical muscles, very strong. He came there and he said, "Hi skinny." Skinny means the thin logo, right? William Douglas was one of them. He was very thin. એટલે જે 18 વર્ષનો છોકરો હતો that was very strong. એને શું કીધું? Hi skinny, that means hi, very thin boy, right? And the next thing that he said was, how would you like to be dubbed? Right? હું તને પાણીમાં ફેંકી દઉં તો શું કેવું રહેશે? Will you like it? Right? That is what his intentions were. A 18 years old boy. Author was 11 years, the boy was 18 years, so obviously an 18-year-old boy will have much more strength rather than a boy who is of 11 years of age. Right? And the second thing, the author was very thin. I had not been there long when he came in a big bruiser of probably 18 years old. He had thick hair on his chest, he was beautiful physical specimen with legs and arms that showed rippling muscles. He yelled, "Hi skinny, how would you like to be dubbed?" With that he picked me up and tossed me into the deep water at the end. ઉચકી દીધો અને સીધો સ્વિમિંગ પુલમાં નાખી દીધો. કયા એન્ડમાં? જ્યાં 9 ફીટ હતું એ બાજુ. I landed in a sitting position, swallowed water and went at once to the bottom. Right? સીધો સ્વિમિંગ પુલમાં નીચે ડૂબી ગયો and directly went to the bottom. I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. On the way down, I planned when my feet hit the bottom. I would make a big jump, come to the surface, lie flat on it, and paddle to the edge of the pool. એકવાર નીચે bottom ને touch થઈ ગયું swimming pool. So he was a bit scared at the initial level. So what did he decide? જેવું બીજી વાર પગ હટશે ને નીચે swimming pool માં, I'll jump from the force from down to the bottom, right? એને પેલા ઓલા wings તો પહેરેલા જ હતા, right? And as soon as I jump from the water, એકદમ ઉપર આવી જઈશ and then I'll try to start swim and I will reach to the other end, which was 2 to 3 feet deep, right? When my feet hit the bottom, I would make a big jump. come to the surface, lie flat on it and paddle to the edge of the pool. Right? એને આ જ પ્લાન કર્યો. It seemed a long way down. Those 9 feet were more than like 90, right? બહુ લાંબો રસ્તો લાગ્યો 9 feet. બોટમ આવતું નહોતું. Right? પાણી હોય ને બહુ વજનવાળું. When we have it in our hands, it has no weight, right? But when you carry a bucket which is full of water, right? આપણે આડા થઈ, right? Our body cannot balance it. Right? One bucket of water makes our body, little bit bent on the other side. So imagine a swimming pool which is 9 feet deep and which is very big. So how much strength the water will have? And he was trying to come out of the water, but he was not able to touch to the bottom of the water. Try કરતો તો ઘણીવાર બહાર આવવાની ઉપર આવવાની, પણ bottom ને પગ અડે હિટ થાય તો કંઈક ફોર્સ થી ઉપર આવે ને. But in 9 feet એને કેવું લાગ્યું? 90 feet જેવું લાગ્યું. And before I touched the bottom, my lungs were ready to burst. એના લંગ્સમાં પાણી ઘૂસી ગયું, right? એટલે શ્વાસ લેવામાં પણ તકલીફ પડે. But when my feet hit bottom, I summoned all my strength and made what I thought was a great spring upwards. I imagined I would walk to the surface like a cork. Instead, I came up slowly. I opened my eyes and saw nothing but water. Water that had dirty yellow beams to it. I grew panically. I reached up as if to grab a rope and my hands clutched only water. I was suffocating. I tried to yell, but no sound came out. Then my eyes and nose came out of water, but not my mouth. અચાનક એનો ખૂબ બોટમને અડી ગયો અને પ્રેશરથી ઉપર આવ્યો with full force, right? And as soon as he came out, he tried to catch anything, any rope. સ્વિમિંગ પુલના હોય છે ને કોર્નર ઉપર પેલું લોખંડ અથવા પેલું એલ્યુમિનિયમની રોપ હોય, રાઈટ? અને એ સપોર્ટે બધા ઊભા જનરલી those who don't know the swimming, right? બધી ટ્રાય કરી, બટ પાણી સિવાય હાથમાં કાંઈ જ આવતું નહોતું. He couldn't catch anything except one, right? Again he went into inside. Again he tried to jump out. What happened? Right? He started suffocating. Right? There was nothing except water. I tried to yell. That means he tried to, create a sound that is help. But no sound came out of it. कोई आवाज मोटापन नहीं करता. No. Then my eyes and nose came out of water. Eyes and nose came out of water, but not my mouth. Right? આટલે સુધી બહાર આવે તો પાછો ડૂબી જાય. Right? And swimming now to it, વધારે તડફડી આવવાની. Right? You try to even swim more and more because you don't know how to swim. So your body gets even more exhausted. વધારે થાકી જાય. Right? And you are on the deep side, that is 9 feet. So again it is a trouble. એ મગજમાં વિચાર કરતો હોય. લંગ્સમાં પાણી ઘૂસી ગયું. Right? He was suffocating. All these things were happening at one point of time. And આ બધા thoughts વધારે ને વધારે fear ઊભું કરતા. Right? Next. I flayed at the surface of the water, swallowed and choked. I tried to bring my legs up, but they hung as dead weights, paralyzed and rigid. પગ કામ કરતા બંધ થઈ ગયા. Just like paralyzed. Paralysis થઈ જાય ને એટલે પગ ખોટા પડી જાય. Rigid, એકદમ સ્ટીફ, કડક થઈ જાય પગ. ગમે એટલી મૂવમેન્ટ કરો પણ ચાલે જ નહીં, કોઈ ફિલિંગ્સ જ ના હોય પગમાં. Right? That kind of thing. A great force was pulling me under. I screamed, but only the water hurt me. Right? અવાજ આવતો હતો, ધીમે ધીમે અંદરથી અવાજ આવતો હતો, but it was only water which was able to hear the sound. I had started on the long journey back to the bottom of the pool. I struck at the water and I went down, expending my strength as one in nightmare flights as an irresistible force. I had lost all my breath. My lungs ached. My head throbbed. I was getting dizzy, but I remembered the strategy. I would spring from the bottom of the pool and come like a cork to the surface. I would lie flat on the water, strike out with my arms, and crash with my legs. Then I would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. Right? He was getting dizzy. Dizzy એટલે શું ચક્કર આવવા માંડે ને એટલે બેલેન્સ ના રહે. રાઈટ? આમથી આમ ગોથા ખાય. એવું સ્વિમિંગ પુલમાં ન થતું. અને બીજી બાજુ એવો વિચાર આવતો હતો કે જ્યારે સ્વિમિંગ શીખતો હતો, when he was learning the swimming, right, his coach or whoever he was mentor, he told him that as soon as you hit the bottom, you have to jump like a cork, right? એકદમ તમે આમ નોટ પોલિટિકલ ફોર્સમાં પહેલાં પાણી આવે with full pressure. right? So his coach or his mentor might have taught him that once you hit the bottom, come like a frog of the surface, right, with full force, and then try to start swimming. બે વિચાર મગજમાં ફરતા. એક બાજુ ટ્રાય કરતો હતો, સક્સેસ નહોતું જતું, right? He was trying his best to come out of the water. He was not getting the success. He was getting dizzy. He had exhausted. That in the lungs માં પાણી ઘૂસી ગયું, right? He could only see water. He could not even scream. અવાજ પણ નહોતો આવતો. And on the other side of the mind, that he was thinking that again, once I reach the bottom of the swimming pool, again with the full force, I'll come like a particular pressure, right, and try to swim and cross on the other side of the swimming pool, which is 2 to 3 feet, right? Then I would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. I went down endlessly. I opened my eyes, nothing but water with a yellow glow, dark water that one could not see through. Only the thing that he could see was water, nothing else. And then sheer stark terror seized me. Terror that knows no understanding. Terror that knows no control. Terror that no one can understand. એક વાર બીક ઘૂસી જાય ને, એ ખાલી આપણે જ સમજી શકીએ, આપણે જ ફીલ કરી શકીએ, આપણે જ એને જોઈ શકીએ. Because no one can be us, or no one can be me, right? I can be myself. મને જ ખબર છે ટેરર શું. Only I can understand, only I can feel. તમે કદાચ કોઈ બીજાને કહેશો તો they'll listen you, but they'll not understand. They cannot feel what pressure it is, what pain it is, right? What the fear it is in your mind. Right? Feeling is a total different thing, and that only you will experience because you have suffered from that thing. And એમાં જ્યારે ફોબિયા હોય ને, right, ડર, એટલે વધારે તમને fear factor ઊભું કરે, right? And that constantly revolves in your mind, અને એ વિચાર વધારે ને વધારે આવ્યા કરે. That process is constantly remains in your mind, right? It is just like a subject. Account નથી આવડતું, state નથી આવડતું, economics નથી આવડતું, SPCC, BE or English or Hindi or Gujarat, whatever the subject is. નથી આવડતું. That is known as the fear. That is known as the fear, right? Only you can understand, right? Moving ahead. Terror that knows no control, no one can understand, who has not experienced it. I was shrieking underwater. I was paralyzed underwater, stiff, paralyzed again, stiff, rigid with fear. Even the screams in my throats were frozen. ગળામાં પણ અવાજ એકદમ જામી ગયો, right? Not able to speak anything. Only my heart and the pounding in my head said that I was still alive, right? ખાલી એનું heartbeat જ ચાલતું. His heart was still running, and that was the only thing that he knew, that he was alive. He was alive. And then in the midst of the terror came a touch of the reason. I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. At last I felt the tiles under me. My toes reached out as if to grab them. I jumped with everything I had. Suddenly for the third time he tried. He was again going deep in the water. Already ડૂબી ગયો હતો, વધારે ડૂબતો હતો, and suddenly his toes, પગના અંગૂઠાઓ એ ટચ થઈ ગયા નીચેની tiles. And as soon as he touched the tiles, again there was one more lifeline, right? My toes reached out as if to grab them. I jumped with everything I had, right? Again he tried to jump with everything he had. But the jump made no difference. કોઈ ફેર પડ્યો નહીં. The water was still around me. આજુબાજુ હજી પણ પાણી હતું. I looked for the ropes, ladders, water wings. Nothing but water. Ropes, પકડવાની સીડી, ladders, જગ્યાએથી શોર્ટકટ ચડવાનો રસ્તો, બધું ગોતી ગયું, પણ કાંઈ મળ્યું નહીં. Couldn't find anything except water. Nothing but water. A mass of yellow water held me. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me, like a great charge of electricity. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move, my legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for a mother. Nothing happened. Beef lagi gay. He was so feared. At last he spoke the name of his mother, right? That if you can come and please help me out. But there was no one except the one. Right? હવે તમને એવો વિચાર આવતો હતો કે 18 વર્ષનો છોકરો જેણે ધક્કો મારી દીધો એ ક્યાંય ગયો? He ran away. Right? He is not there in this picture, right? He tried everything, but William O'Douglas could not come out of the water. I tried to call to help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. He tried each and everything, but nothing happened at the end. And then strangely there was a light. I was coming out of the awful yellow water, right? Ekdam dizzy. Bhan movement, right? A type of thing. And suddenly there was a light. I was coming out of the awful yellow water, right? બેભાન અવસ્થામાં તો 2-5% એનું ભાન હતું. એટલે એને એટલી ખબર હતી છેલ્લે that I am coming out of the water. At last my eyes were, at least my eyes were. My nose was almost out too, right? એને એટલું ખબર હતી મારી આંખ પાણીની બહાર આવી ગઈ, મારું નાક, that is my nose that is coming out of the water. Then I started down a third time, right? Almost 90-95% unconscious થઈ ગયો તો 5% એને ખબર હતી that my eyes and my nose is coming out of the water. Then again I went, started down a third time, right? Third time એને પાછી try કરી to go deep into the water, to touch the tiles with the toes and to jump back again, right? I sucked for air and got water. The yellowish light was going out, right? જેવો એ બહાર આવ્યો હતો ને, right? That is the nose and the eyes that were out. That is out of the water, right? And ekdam pehla swas le lido, like this, a deep breath, right? And then we thought I will go deep inside it, touch the bottom of with my toes, and then I'll come out with the jump, right? હવે જેવો અંદર ગયો ને એટલે શ્વાસ લેવાઈ ગયો, right? This is the rule of the water, right? When you are swimming, when your face is out of the water, you have to take a deep breath, and when you go inside, you have to put your mouth and your nose shut down for certain seconds, right? Because you are inside the water. જેવું પાછું મોઢું બહાર આવે અગેન મોઢું ખોલવાનું, શ્વાસ લેવાનો, ભેગો કરવાનો, અગેન નીચે પાછું જવા દેવાનું, right? Hold it, and this is how it goes, right? But શ્વાસ લીધો બહાર આવ્યા પહેલા જેવો પાછો અંદર ગયો શ્વાસ લેવા ગયો, જેવો શ્વાસ લીધો ને બધું પાણી અંદર ઘૂસ્યું. Everything went inside, right? The yellowish water, yellowish light was going out. હવે જેને જે થોડી ઘણી સેન્સ હતી ને, right? જે લાઇટ સ્ટેટનેસ જે થોડું ઘણું દેખાતું હતું ને, that was also going. That was also going. Then all the efforts ceased. That means badha efforts pani માં ગયા, right? Failed. I relaxed. Even my legs felt lame and blackness swept over my brain, right? દેખાતું બંધ થયું, right? Everything was gone. It wiped out fear. It wiped out terror. There was no more panic, right? ભાન જ ન હોય when you are not conscious. When you are not conscious, so semi terror, કઈ વસ્તુ સમજાય જ નહીં, because you don't know where you are and what is going on. So everything went away from his brain, right? It wiped out fear, it wiped out terror. There was no more panic. It was quiet and peaceful, right? આપણે સૂઈ ગયા હોય, when we are in deep sleep, right? We don't know what is going in this world, but that is what is known as the peace. That same thing was happening with this William Douglas. The senses were gone, eyes were shutting down, right? He couldn't see anything, and he was getting the peace. He was getting the peace. Nothing to be afraid of. This is nice. And એ તો પણ એવું વિચાર આવતો હતો, ચલો, now everything is the end, right? To be drowsy, to go to sleep, no need to jump, too tired to jump. It's nice to be very gentle, to float along in space. Tender arms around me, tender arms just like my mother's. Now I must go to sleep. That means he thought it is the end of his life. It is the end of his life, right? જ્યારે ડેડ બોડીને તમે પાણીમાં નાખો ને તો એ ડેડ બોડી તરે પાણીમાં, ત્યારે ડ્રાઉન ના થાય, right? Once a person is dead and when you put it in the water, it floats on the water. It never goes deep inside unless તમે એની જોડે કે બાંધેલું હોય, right? બાકી એ પાણી ઉપર તૈયાર જ કરે. So he thought that he is going to get the sleep. That means he is going to finish, right? And end of it, right? I crossed the oblivion. Oblivion means unconsciousness level 100%, right? And the curtain of life fell. Curtain of life. That means the life was over. The life was over. Okay? We are stopping the video over here. Hello? We are stopping the video over here, right? The remaining part of the